Allow yourself to feel the air around the arms, the neck and shoulders. And if your hair falls on your neck, feel what that feels like. You can bring your awareness to the crown, to the top of the head, and just feel what it feels like to have hair on your head. And if you're like me, just feel what it feels like to not have hair on your head. But whatever arises, letting that be okay. Just what it feels like to have a body without judgment. Now, if you're like me, you'll notice there are certain parts of the body that kind of tighten, and you have to bring your awareness to it, and just relax, open, and let it feel again. And just there are different levels of this deepening of experiencing. So just noticing what you feel like full body. You can keep this awareness of just feeling what it feels like to be in the moment. You can open up the eyes and keep this experience. So I just want to, so I can know that we're on the same page. We're having a unified experience. Just, what do you notice? What's the feeling that you notice? You can just share. You don't even have to raise your hand. Just a peace.
Very relaxing.
Really relaxing. So peace and relaxation. I'm going to say this is our natural way of being when the mind is not making a judgment, when it's not trying to get a thing, when it's just being without effort, without an attachment or aversion to an experience in the moment. This is our very nature. And so this is mindfulness. And there's many ways to get into this field, this way of being that brings this peace, this relaxation. And so we just did it with the physical body. You can enter into this field of this enlightened way of being or this natural way of being. I feel that those are the same things. A natural way of being and an enlightened way of being. Just by just noticing this mindfulness. You could do it through the body. We could also we could do it through our breath. Just noticing what it feels like to breathe. So we could just do that now, with the eyes open or closed, without even trying to breathe. Just allow however the body is being breathed to breathe. I like to say that universal creative intelligence that beats the heart, that grows the cells in the body, breathes the breath. And as you're allowing the body to breathe, allow your whole being to experience being breathed. So, the bones breathing, the brain and the spine, arms, legs, heart center, without controlling the breath. Whatever arises, let the breathing be shallow, still, or deep, but allow the whole body to experience being breathed. Just a full body experience of it, without controlling, without tightening muscles and nerves. Just noticing what that feels like. Now, even with the eyes open, you can just keep your awareness with this experience of being without judgment, just an allowing of your of this natural way of being. You could open up the eyes. And you can just nod your head or just notice, or just let me know. Can you notice yourself slipping into meditation again? Just with the allowing of the experience of you being breathed by Source, by Father, Mother, God. Because it's not us breathing. You can just imagine us being breathed by that creative intelligence that moves and breathes all creation into being. Did I mention this is a Buddhist practice, right? Some people use the breath exclusively. Some people just walk themselves through the body and just feel what the body feels like to get there. You could do this also with the emotions, the feelings. Just as it worked with the body, it can work with the feelings and emotions. Just allowing the feelings and emotions to be there. Applying the same natural way of being without judgment, without controlling the emotion. It could be kind of scary sometimes if we're not used to allowing ourselves to feel on that level. But just let's try that just for a moment. Think of something that bothers you. See? And notice as you think of this thing that bothers you. Well, first of all, let's get a show of hands. Raise your hand if you can think of something that bothers you. We got to get it. Okay. All right. Usually when something bothers us, it not only affects us emotionally, but the nervous system responds. The nervous system is part of the body, and so the body tightens, it clenches. You can feel it. Even though we may not be mindful of that experience, that happens. And hopefully we can be mindful enough, moving through the day in this enlightened way of being, we'll catch it before it becomes a headache, a backache, a joint pain, and the like. So, let's think of that thing that bothers us. And just notice where in the body you feel the tension when you think of the thing that bothers you. It can be anything. It can be something that happened today. It can be a fear or a phobia that you have. It can be something that you're wanting, something you're trying to prevent, health, fitness, relationships, finance, whatever it is. Just notice where in the body you feel that tension and tightness, and bring your awareness, your point of awareness. Sometimes we feel it in our head.